Thank you for joining me. Wanted to take the time to talk to you about a subject near and dear to my heart. You see, lots been going on and around the world with this virus situation, and a lot of small businesses had to take a hiatus. And they had to for a couple of months. Now, one of my favorite stores was one of them that had to take the fall and close their doors.
How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good time that made us laugh, outweigh them bad.
So I found out, through social media, that they're opening back up. And you can imagine my feelings towards that. So I just got back from the store that I haven't been in a couple of months. It's a store that has just about everything: books, CDs, records, collectibles, games. I'm sure everybody out there has a store similar. But what I wanted to, after I fall, talk about is the stuff that I had grabbed from there. Now, most of it's games. I have only a couple, two things to decorate the inside of my man cave. First thing being a Ghostbusters collector set. I picked this up for $10. Was kind of excited to see it. Ghostbusters was a huge deal, starting back in the late 80s. And that's where I made my start out there in the world. It's in the 80s. So next we're gonna move along to Transformers. Nice little addition that I can throw and decorate somewhere. I just gotta find a place for it, along with the other. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for the main event, and that's the games. I have a number of PlayStation 2, Xbox, Genesis, Sega CD, and a PlayStation game in there too. So start off with a very well-known title, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Can't go without any collection without this. For some reason, I did not have this in my collection. I think I own one of the Grand Theft Auto titles, but I believe it's for Xbox. So I picked this one up here. I got it for $5.95. Nothing like going around town and stealing cars and stuff. And, growing up playing this game and kind of made you feel invincible. But at the same time, you knew that stuff was wrong. Next game I'm going to pick up for PlayStation 2. Red Dead Revolver, first of the Red Dead series. This game I played for hours and hours and hours. I was hooked on it. Western theme. Very good to see that this popped up. And what was huge for me is the sticker in the back that actually had the barcode and stuff on it. Underneath it, it said property of Blockbuster. So this was a Blockbuster game. This was something you could rent. It was on the shelves at this place that's no longer in existence. Well, there's one store left. I'm gonna move along to So another PlayStation 2 game, Resident Evil Outbreak. Resident Evil series, I do own quite a few of them. I did not have Outbreak. Now, Outbreak says it has events spanning from Resident Evil 1 through 3. So, be able to pick this up, play this. I'm sure it'll tie into all the other Resident Evils that I have. I just never played this game before. We're going to keep in the same PlayStation 2. Talk about Siphon Filter. This is the Omega Strain. This is actually the Siphon Filter. I do not have this, nor did I ever own this, or knew that it actually existed. So when I seen this, I figured I'd pick it up because I did have the original. I think they had like 3, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but I did actually purchase it back when PlayStation 2 was out. I had it. It was in my collection. However, since then, with a lot of things, I mean, you grow out of the games things, but I came back to it. But you grow out of it, you lose it. It could be floating around somewhere at my mom's house for all I know. But this game, I'm gonna toss this in, check this out. Now we're gonna move along to some Xbox. First Xbox game I have is Doom 3 of the Doom series. Now, Doom, fond memories of playing this all throughout different consoles. This graphic-wise, looks very, very good for an Xbox original game. Like, I mean, it just seems like if playing this back then would be groundbreaking. Being able to see how far, thinking that this is the future. Now, if you play games now, obviously you're pretty much, it's like real life. You can't tell if it's a movie or if it's realistic, or if it's a movie or if it's a game, rather. With this, it looks like it's kind of got that similar feel to it. So I'll be happy to throw that in. Next, we're going to go with Terminator Dawn of Fate. So I picked this up just kind of at a whim. I'd seen it. I thought the cover looked cool. You don't buy games by cover. Of course, you got to be interested in the subject matter. Terminator was a good movie. They had several movies, of course. But here of late, the newest movies, I don't even interested in watching them, honestly. But it'd be cool to throw this in, you know, be able to check it out and see what the game's all about. I'm excited about it. Okay, so we're moving on to, let's go back in the past a little bit. Let's talk Genesis games. Let's talk The Tick. I don't know if anybody remembers this animated series that it was on. I vaguely remember it. It's not like I watched every single episode of it, but I didn't know they had a game on it. And I was actually seeing it and I was excited. And it's definitely one that I'm going to check out. I'm going to play probably after this video. We'll move on to another one. This I have seen in countless people's collection. It's not like it's a rare game, but it's a game that I felt like I had it own, and that's Desert Strike. It's for the Genesis, and Return to the Golf. So I don't know why, but when I looked at the watched video of the gameplay, it reminded me of the beginning parts of In the Army Now, like when they were playing that video game that was at the video store. And I know it's a Pauly Shore movie. Who likes Pauly Shore nowadays? But I actually did back then. But it reminds me, the gameplay on that reminds me of that. And it could very well be that. I didn't do research enough to be able to say, hey, that was the game from the movie. I didn't do that. So, we're going to go back in the past a little more. We'll talk NES and the original Metal Gear. So, Metal Gear. I've seen this a couple of times, and I passed on it several times. I don't know why. I think it was probably because of the price point. Back in the beginning times of collecting, $10 is a big deal for me. Like when I seen a $10 game, I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm going to go stick with the $2 ones, the bargain bin. But I found as you get those $2 games, eventually you run out of $2 games. And those games, the gameplay is horrible. Something like this, I'm sure it's something I'll pick up, play it again and again. And $10 price point on this too. Okay. I actually skipped a Genesis game when I was talking Genesis. I'm going to come back to it. It's not a big purchase by all means. And, well, it's Joe Montana football. You know, people say Madden's the best football game out there. And it just gets better. I say no. Start it here. Start it here. Well, I got the box version. They had it sitting on the shelves for $3 in box. No manual. It's okay. Sure, it's something I'll play one time, toss it in the collection, probably never see it again. But got that nonetheless. Now, your main event. The two items that I picked up that I was most excited for. First, I'm going to start with my Sega CD game. A little game called Mortal Kombat. Now, some of you might remember this fondly as a fun fighting game. Me too. And matter of fact, I didn't know it came on Sega CD. I've even looked at the differencing between the Sega CD, the Sega version, and the SNES version of it. No difference, except for maybe a little bit of a frame rate. Some of the music. The music's the main thing with Sega CD. But nonetheless, I'm limited on Sega CD games. Seen this, had to get it, picked it up. So there's that. And finally, I have been playing for the past couple of weeks, and I was never big into it, Mega Man. Picked up Mega Man 3, and I'm going out of order here, for the NES. Played the heck out of it. And it's probably one of the only games that I consistently put into the NES since I had purchased it. So I wanted to get other, Mega Man series. I haven't really found one, two. Two's a very popular one. But I know there's tons, several. So I went ahead and went with PlayStation's Mega Man 8. So this one I was able to find. I thought it was complete. However, when I looked it up, I realized that the cover had been cut off. It's okay, because I'm very happy to have this. So that concludes my haul. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I picked up. And if you liked this video, please remember to hit the thumbs up button. Love to see the input. Comment if you'd like. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. We'll see you next time.